Egghead news. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I got my glasses on because they got me in the cave. But this is a special show. My girl Amanda's back. Mandy Girl Smiles. Where you at?
Hello.
People was asking me where you been. I said, well, she has some things to do. She went back to the back cave, but she's back. And we have a special guest. Let me tell you about this guest. Let me tell you everything that happened. I did a collabo show last Thursday, and I'm not gonna lie, it's dope. But I'm so competitive, I got mad because it was dope. So I said, I gotta do a better show than that. I gotta do something. That's me. That's just Trey. I gotta do something. So then I said, we never did games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have we ever?
No.
Full disclosure, you and I aren't Yodas of the gaming thing. Whatever. Let me take these glasses off.
No, we're noobs, Tracy. Noobs.
No.
That's the term.
No. But anyway. Yeah, we can listen, we laugh at ourselves sometimes because we try to have fun. Then I saw ZapTV and I saw Crystal, and there was something about it. I thought maybe she looks like this very focused, this very, very professional, this very, very enlightened. So maybe Egghead News can finally bring in someone who knows the gaming genre part of nerd genre. So I said, let me see if I can introduce myself to Crystal and maybe get Crystal to join us because she seems like such a professional. Ladies and gentlemen, Egghead News is proud to present. Joining us for the first time, and for the first time ever, we have a gaming episode. ZapTV's Crystal LeBeau. Now, Crystal, that's right?
Yeah. Have your girl in the house.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
We made it, finally.
I'm going to apologize now. And they're going to say, what for? You'll find out. Because Chris is another level. And I appreciate that.
Kidding.
Chris is another level. Chris, talk to us. How are you?
We good. It's been good. I mean, it kind of sucks with the quarantine, I ain't gonna lie. Kind of hard, especially me. I'm an extrovert, so it's like staying indoors. It's a nightmare. And I've been having a lot of blues because I haven't been able to go to my cons or swap meets and stuff. So it's been kind of hard in the social aspect. But we're trying to make it work, through the Zoom meetings, and we've been doing a lot of streams and just staying in touch through Messenger with friends and people that we share the same hobbies and interests right now. So that kind of helps, but yeah, every once in a while it's I want things to go back to normal,
In a perfect world, I mean, we could all go down that road. Amanda and I are both. What you said we was, Bud? We're what?
We're noobs.
I don't know.
N-O-O-B. Noob. We know nothing. Nada.
Newbie.
So I wanted to jump you, but we really can't jump you because we don't know how to jump you.
Yeah.
So, could you please tell everyone here at Egghead News about ZapTV and the genre? You know the genre.
Okay. All right. So I am in the gaming community. My name is ZapTV Crystal. A lot of people know me as ZapCristal or ZapClean. I've been on the YouTube platform. It's mainly my main game. That's where it is. And I've been there for 2 or 3 years consistently now. I had it many years ago, but my channel's been going through a lot of different phases and rebranding. So we've been exploring different genres until we landed on gaming. The reason why I'm a gamer, it's not so much because of the trend that some people think of gamer girl. I don't really consider myself a gamer girl. I consider myself more as an influencer. I've been raised in a gaming family. My dad was a hardcore gamer. My mom was a Nintendo gamer, and
Wow.
and my brother. So we've all. I think I love gaming because I compare it to my family quality time. And those are like where my best memories are from my childhood. So every time I go back to gaming, it reminds me of when I would sit down when I was 6-year-old playing Mario Kart with my dad, or
Wow.
trying to play some Mario Party with my brother and my mom. So that's really where my passion of ZapTV Crystal comes from. What my channel is about, I like to break barriers because I am a Latina. I'm a Puerto Rican woman. And you know that in the gaming community, this is pretty dominant by men, especially white males. So I wanted to break that barrier of being a female and also being Hispanic, a minority group, and showing like what is my perspective and what do I think about gaming from a female side. So I do a lot of like reviews. I do a lot of covering for swap meets, conventions. So if you've never experienced what's going to a gaming convention, you could see it through my eyes, because I do a lot of interviews and just do a lot of collabs with other content creators in that aspect. And also like we do a lot of podcasts breaking down like game development and retro collecting and game hunting, and also like showing it from a Hispanic female side. So I try to be very clean. I don't go by trends, as like I mentioned earlier, hashtag.
You go by what you like, pretty much.
Exactly. I try to keep it as clean as possible. And like if somebody goes to my Instagram or something, they're gonna see games and not just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's basically how it is, just a little bit.
Okay.
Wow. You do you find that the genre is becoming more girl friendly?
This is a very gray area. I'm trying to be very careful because I ain't gonna lie, I've been kind of frustrated with the community. I'm not gonna attack so much women because I am a female, but I what I'll say is there's been a trend, and I think it at a fault it's society, and guys have a easier way to grow and professionally channel wise, because when somebody goes to a guy channel, they're not going with expectations so much of how this guy looks. They're going more towards its content. However, when it's a female, sadly, a lot of people go towards their looks. So if a girl is beautiful, before society standards, then they're gonna get views, but it's not so much sometimes about the content, it's more the girl, and that's why I say it's a gray area, because some girls like me, we break those barriers that yes, we recognize that we have beauty as a female, but we're not using that to our advantage to grow our channel. Like we're just showing like this is our knowledge. Like we're not just trying to be a gamer girl, like we really know about games, and this is what we got to share to the world. But some girls, sadly, they feel pressured, so they make contracts, and I'm not going to go through that, but I know business 101, that they lend themselves to be branded, in order to get paid. So if you go to their Instagram, they'll be very provocative in a certain way, or dressed in a certain way, or just things that they know that they'll enchant and lure in the audience that they know that is dominant by the community. And then that way they get to grow. So that's why it's kind of hard nowadays to actually grow, because it's funny, but it's true. Sometimes you see these memes of a girl that made a beautiful painting and she just got 20 likes. compared to a girl that just took a picture, a selfie of herself, and she got 3,000 likes. It's funny, but it's true, you know?
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's just things that kind of upset me, and I do like to point it out because that's generally what I let everybody know. I'm like, if you're trying to come to my page thinking that I am the wannabe trying to be gamer girl, then you're wasting your time, because that's not the content I offer at my channel.
I'm glad you put it out that you're here legitimately because of your background and because of what you know. And of course, we all know it's a business, we get it, you know, but there's certain things that I'm not going to do, you're not going to do. And then there's also things we know we can't control.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it's all about how you were raised and what are your limits. Like right now, I'm not against anybody that is trying to make money and they know that they're trying to do it to their advantage. I'm not against. What I might be against is maybe this person will do something that if you ask me would I do it, I will tell you no, because these are my limits. I won't cross this line. So from a business standard, yes, I have to follow a lot of, you know, requirements, and I have to know how to play the game in order to grow, but I won't submit myself totally to jump and cross the line just to get viewers. Because at the end of the day, it's like, we have a private life too. So a lot of people don't know that, you know, and I have my family, I have my private relationships, and I have to take care of those relationships, you know? So a lot of people are irresponsible in that area. You know, they give an impression before cameras, and then in private, they get in trouble because a lot of people are not aware of the family life and the private life of this person.
Well said. Like she hit it on the nail. And like you were saying, in the gaming community, it's the same in just the geek community in general, because we go through it too. As cosplayers, we go through it. As, you know, comic book nerds, they go through it. You know, sci-fi, whatever you're into, you go through it. So that does definitely hit home, and I definitely commend you for, you know, putting yourself on that higher ground, because it can be difficult and it can be tempting, but
yeah, it could be tempting. And sadly, like, you still get, like, I still have gotten, I won't say totally, like, it hasn't been bullying. I guess because I've been doing it for so many years that I don't get affected by it, because I know what I'm getting myself into. But it, like, you still get a lot of hate, especially from male audience, because
really wow,
yeah, because like they feel like, oh, this is our community, this is our area, it's dominant by male. So when they feel like a girl steps in, they kind of feel envious that this girl, you know, has the means or the resources to do the same thing that a man is doing, you know? Like, it's like, how can I explain it? It's like when girls are nurses and they're like, it's hard to see a guy become a nurse.
Yeah, but it's nurses.
Yeah, exactly. But there's guys nurses, and like, and by any means, we don't get envious. Like, we're fine with sharing that because we don't see it as a gender role, you know.
It's a profession.
It's a profession. But in certain communities, it's like they almost want to make it like it looks like a gender role. So like, I've seen a lot of women's, like, for example, me, you know, they could see my background, they see a lot of games, they see a lot of this, and they see like I actually know what I'm talking about, and they just become envious, like, oh, she really does know about games. Oh, how does she do to grow her you know? And it's saying,
wow, that's really cool, like, I should check out her channel more. They want to bring you down, pretty much.
Yeah. So
they want to automatically say, oh, she's a poster. She just bought all that stuff, this and that, blah 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 blah. And it's sad because it's an open forum for everybody. Like, there be no line there, really.
It comes to the point that sometimes they'll even call you like a fangirl. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, she's just a YouTube fangirl, and I'm like, wait, what?
And I will tell you, you do know your stuff, because I was watching your videos, and I was like, as a girl that doesn't game, and as someone who has a boyfriend that does, I was like, huh? I was like, so yeah, you do know your stuff. And like I said, I commend you for that, because it does take a lot of bravery and it does take a lot of will, because a lot of people are throwing things at you and it can be tempting to grab onto it just because you know it might get you views, but are you going to compromise yourself in the process?
Yeah, literally, it's
I just think you just treat it as a job. No matter what's my job and my regular life. My job, my regular life. We all have a job. We all have a regular life. We all share some things in common.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a business to us, you know. Not trying to take away the fantasy or the atmosphere that's always going to be there. One of the things that, I mean, this is such a poignant point that you just made about the industry. So if anybody who ever's going to watch this episode, just my aunt, because that's the only one of us, they're going to understand that this is the business. And Chris, I appreciate that. You know, we didn't come here at Eggheads. We never just fluff it. It's not fluffing it. No, it's hard, just like the music industry. Conflict. Mandy does, when she does some modeling stuff, and you talk to photographers, everybody, we're all in the same universe, and the same rules apply. We have business and we have us. Now, I don't want to belabor that. I want this video also be fun. What games are you excited about right now?
Oh,
yeah.
I got a long list right now.
Lay it on us. We're here.
So right now, I don't know if y'all saw the trailer that Nintendo dropped recently. It's Paper Mario, the Origami King.
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of the Paper Mario series. I'm like, I don't care how much backlash it gets. I just love every game when it comes out.
What's the backlash? The whole Mario series?
Well,
little.
I think it's just people are hard to please, you know, like from a gaming developing industry. I understand that they always want to bring something fresh, you know, to the market. So they always want to switch it up. And sometimes people are not okay with changes. So yeah, and it's like, I'm okay with it. I remember playing the very first one that came out in Nintendo 64. Like, I originally had it back then, and I remember playing with my brother so many times. I think 5-6 times I played that game, because I would just never get tired of it, because it has a very good storyline. All the characters are so unique in their personality and their jokes. It has such a good humor. The battles combat system is amazing, you know, and it you just kind of felt like you had a family when you played the Paper Mario series. So it was always something you were looking forward, because you already knew all these little small stories, and you were always expecting, like, okay, I wonder if in the sequel, what's going to happen with this character right now, because I know what happened in the last time, so where are we heading with this character right now? So I can see how people got so attached to the first Paper Mario games. Now, as I said, you know, as a developer, I understand that you always want to try to experiment, bring something new and something different. So, like, for example, they tried a Paper Mario Sticker Star. A lot of people did not like that, you know, because it was involved a lot of collecting of stickers and stuff like that. And I understand where the developer was going, you know, trying to get like collectible included, you know. Yeah, they were trying to have something like, okay, something like you could look forward to while you were playing in the game, you know, like, oh, let me just collect all these stickers, you know, have my own big collection. But a lot of people didn't like it. And then this last one, the most recent one that was for the Wii U, Paper Mario Color Splash, a lot of people hated that game, mainly because the battle system involved cards. And a lot of people didn't like that. You know, a lot of people wanted an original RPG-ish battle, you know, of turn-based and your partner involved, you know, so the hits can count, all that basic stuff. So I'm very unbiased. I never go towards what the crowd says. So I went from a developer perspective and actually listened to them to see what they had to say. And I actually love their opinion regarding to the game. The lady, because it was actually a lady that was in the crew, She said, I know that everybody loves the original Paper Mario series, but why do we have to stay stuck? This is her words. This is how she said it. Why do we have to stay stuck with the same story and same system? She's like, and she was like, I saw my kid and they were playing with paint. She said one day, and they were playing with paint and they were mixing colors. And she was like, I saw them playing with some cards. And I said to myself, she's like, why not make this game and turn the battle using cards, but also at the same time using paint, where you will need to fill up the cards in order to use them in your battles. So it all came, the idea came just from seeing her daughter, her kid playing, you know, that's how it all came. And I found that really interesting because I was like, oh, she was thinking about her kids. You know, she had a purpose when she created this game, you know?
That's cute.
So yeah. And I was like, that's sweet because, you know, they made sure that it was family fun. Now, of course, someone that's a hardcore gamer that follows the whole timelines are like, oh, this doesn't count as a Paper Mario series because they changed the combat system. It's cards, it's paints. We don't like that. So now with the Origami King, a lot of people are nervous, and it's because of the same thing. Because they're like, oh, how is the combat system going to be? You know, is it going to be kind of like a fail like Color Splash, or are they going back to their roots? And it's always the same dilemma. And I'm like, people just don't know how to get pleased, because Super Mario Odyssey had the same problem. It was an amazing game, but people
that game.
Freaked out because they're like, oh, the motion controls, the hat, and all that. Oh, that's not a original Mario game. And I'm like, bro, Super Mario Sunshine was the same way. It was an awesome game, and it was just, Nintendo just likes to switch up things. They always like to make things different. And I applaud them to do that because they don't go with a trend. They try to always break barriers and say, how can we make gaming fun that we can include all the family, and then always bring something fresh, you know? And I like that. That's why I'm like, I encourage Nintendo to keep doing what they're doing, because I want to see what they have to offer compared to just only high resolution and good textures and good graphics. You know, that's all okay, but at the end of the day, I come to play a game. So bring me a good gameplay. Bring me something that will make me want to stay immersed in that world, you know? So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to that game.
And the other ones that on the same level of excitement from the fan base. Like, what is everybody talking about? What's the number one game?
Right now there's there's this battle. People want to call it battle. I don't really see it as a battle. But a lot of people are talking about the battle between the new consoles that are coming out, you know, Xbox, that they're bringing their new system, which I think is amazing if you ask me. You know, I'm always going to come from a developer side, because I love to see how they integrate new technology, you know, and especially now with the Unreal Engine 5 that just came out. If you sit down and look at the trailer, they made this game. It's not a game that's coming to PlayStation. It's just a game that would be kind of like a demo for the Unreal Engine 5. And they were showing how they were manipulating a lot of stuff like lighting and pixels and certain features that from a developing point, it would be easier for you to showcase a good shadow, lighting, textures, statues, well-formed and detailed. And of course, they showcased it from PlayStation because the newer consoles that are coming out are going to be able to render well gameplay from Unreal Engine 5. So from a developing point, I was super excited because as soon as I saw how they changed the light, because whoever does filmmaking or photography or even a game developer, you understand the importance about a good lighting. Like, lighting is everything. And as soon as they showed how like you could change it, and then how they pre-render so quickly things that you could barely see like a lag or frame drop, and then they just showed these pre-rendered statues. I don't know if y'all got to see the trailer, but there was this huge statue, and I was so surprised because it was so well detailed that I was like, wow, gaming is really going to a next level. You know, just when you thought you saw everything, it just becomes more and more real. And I'm wondering, I'm like, where are we going with this? You know, especially in VR. You know, a lot of people backlash VR, but let's be honest, VR has a lot of potential. It's a small market, but I actually see VR growing. And now with the Unreal Engine 5 and all this that's going on, I think VR is going to take a lot of advantage of that when it comes to game development. So yeah, that's Xbox was featuring one game. I probably will butcher the name, but it's something about Tsushima or Tsushima. It's a Japanese game, and it's open world, and it's real combat style. Like you'll actually die. You know, you have to be. Yeah, you have to actually plan out. It's not like, you know how usually you play certain games like Assassin's Creed, and it doesn't matter how bad they hit you. You never die.
Yeah. Those are like games that I like.
Well, in this game, you're gonna die. So you're not gonna be saved by the bell. So it's like you gotta plan out very well your battles. Like your clothes is gonna be important when you choose it, because it'll help you decide how are going to be the end results or overall performance when you go in combat. And then what I love is that the developers, they were really smart when they explained that when they created the open world, they didn't want to force you and make you feel like you were pressured to follow a certain path in the game. They wanted you to still feel like, oh, it's an open world, curiosity, you know, let me go check this. So they mentioned how they integrated a lot of elements like fog or smoke or the wind, you know, or an animal that will like show up out of nowhere and wants you to follow it.
Oh, that's just messed up.
Yeah, so the developer said, we just wanted to do that because we're trying to reward a person to want to explore. And we'll just give you elements to kind of pinpoint, but we ain't gonna really tell you what to do, you know. So you just kind of do your own thing, but you're not realizing that you're actually just doing everything they told you. It's just they did a really good job.
Jedi mind tricks.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that game. I ain't gonna lie. I want to be a samurai.
Any games that you like to talk about in the house, man?
Any games I'm playing in the house, or are you talking to?
What do you mean?
Oh, okay.
No, you.
Right now I am playing Animal Crossing. I think everybody's playing Animal Crossing right now.
No.
I'm a 5-star island.
All right. So here's the thing. My boyfriend is playing Animal Crossing. All right. And
every time I call, Rick is playing Animal Crossing.
He's dying. Yes. He's dying to try to get me to play the game. That's not happening. He even created me on his island. He gave me a house. He's like, she's dressed like you. He's like, people are getting married in this game. You need to get on it. I'm like, I can't. I can't. He's like, you only played it on the phone. I'm like, I know I played it on the phone. It's just not my bag.
Yeah, I could see like how, like, let's be honest, this game is just trending because of the whole quarantine thing. I'm not saying that Animal Crossing is bad. It's actually a really good series. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's a simulation game. So if you're not into simulation and you are more of a hardcore, I could see like how easily you're gonna get bored and you're just not gonna want to play it. Now people that are into simulation or into like sandbox games, kind of like Minecraft, you know, where you have your own freedom. Yeah, you like it's not linear. There's no story mode involved, so you kind of just do your own thing. You know, like they'll give you a set of goals, you know, a set of expectations, but at the end of the day, you are the one that plays it however you want it to be. So I can tell how some people are not really into that, but it does have a lot of potential because, like right now in the quarantine period, a lot of people can't get together. So it has become more of a social game, kind of to use it as an excuse to get together, you know? So a lot of people, like, let's say long distance relationships that can't see each other, they will use the game to have their date nights, you know, to a lot of engaged people that had to cancel their weddings. They're having their weddings on Animal Crossing. And a lot of families that have kids, you know, that right now they're having a lot of anxiety because they can't go back to school or they can't be with their friends. Then this is a game where they could actually have their friends on the island and interact, use the Nintendo Switch online chat, and just have an excuse of like, okay, we'll just get together here at this time and just play and talk and have a good time, you know? So that's why it has become the thing right now in 2020. I recently participated in a fashion show, you know, somebody was
I saw your video. I was like, that's so cute. You know, so somebody held on their island a fashion show, and they were like, well, do you want to participate in this social event? And I was like, why not? And it was so much fun because we were all in the chat and we planned out our outfits and planned out our stuff, and everybody just got together and we were just joking, you know, chilling, having a good time. So it's kind of like the thing of like, if you can't go to a bar or something, you're like, okay, well, I mean, let's just go to Animal Crossing. You know?
Get married in a video game.
Yes.
Let me get married in a video game.
Yeah, literally. That's what I said. I was like, I made an announcement. Okay, so let me share this quick. I made an announcement, right? And I'm like, yo, the wedding season package is coming in June. So we're all flying to Harvey's Island. I'm getting my dress ready so we can get married.
Ladies and gentlemen, as it comes to this is where we are.
This is where we are right now.
Oh my God. No, and you know what was the last thing I did? And I'm actually going to put it together in a video because I love to kind of explore myths and things that people try to figure out on the island. And a lot of stuff actually are true. So, like, for example, Red.
Don't say that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Red, for example, he's a, how can I say? He's a typical fake businessman, to put it in a sweet way. And when he sells paintings, you have to know which one are the real ones because you might take home with you a haunted painting. And
How you know? Look at Mandy jumping in. How you know?
Because Rick showed it to me. And recently what he's been doing in Animal Crossing is he's making paintings. He even made like some Gucci designs and stuff like that.
It's
like, he takes it to a whole other level. I'm serious.
Yeah, it's real. Like I had a painting of
but wait a minute. But it's fake. And you do it to lure people in?
Well, Red does fake paintings and he sells you the paintings like if they were real, but then you find out that they're fake because when you try to donate them in the museum, Bladder tells you that he can't take them in because they're fake paintings, you know? And the thing is, like, you can't even sell the paintings, so you're kind of screwed with them.
And
so
there's clues within the paintings too to let you know if they're fakes or not.
There's a whole Reddit right now just explaining about these paintings.
See, Mandy lied. She told me she don't know nothing about this stuff. She lied to me. She lied to me.
I know about it. I don't play it. I know about it from the second hand.
Yeah.
Okay?
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I have this painting that turned out to be fake, right? And I have it in my room, and I don't mind because I love haunted stuff. Yeah. And after 6 p.m., my painting literally comes to life and changes. Like, for example, I have a girl, it's a portrait of a girl, and her eyes are open. But after 6, if you look at the portrait, her eyes close. So you can see her eyes close. And it lasts until 6 a.m. in the morning, all that whole time. I don't know why. And then the last thing I did was that there was another myth that if you wake up at 3:33 in the morning, which I did it already, and you have a TV in your house and you turn it on, you might have an alien encounter. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I want aliens on my island. So I turned on the TV at 3:33, and I literally have footage and photos that it actually happened. I did have an alien encounter on Animal Crossing.
Wow.
So now you can tell why people are so, immersed in this game.
Yeah.
I'll have a drink.
Because like I said, he's making paintings. He did not the Assassin's Creed guy. God of War. Kratos.
Oh.
He made a Kratos.
Yes.
He made a Kratos. He did Norman Reedus from Death Stranding. And he's selling them for Nook Miles. I think he does that or something. But yeah, he's really into it. He's got my daughter farming for him and everything. Like they got their own little business.
Like, we got our own project.
They're like, join. I'm like, yeah.
I'm making paintings. Come on, we're gonna sell them. Drop them bells.
Yeah.
Never have to leave the house, ladies and gentlemen. You never have to leave your house. They got a whole universe going.
It's fun, and on PlayStation I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
I'm playing Watch Dogs 2. I love Watch Dogs, so it's like I want to play the second one, and also Wolfenstein World of Order.
Oh, that game is crazy.
I am playing that game.
See, it's coming out.
I just know because I watched him play.
It's very hard.
Here's the thing. I like games because I like the games with stories. Okay, so he does all the technical stuff because then I will die and get frustrated and never go any further. He even got the special edition, the Wolfenstein thing. You see, he got the character. Yeah, he got the figure. He collects figures and stuff. So that's our bag. That's what we do. Like, he just finished playing Last of Us because he wants to get Last of Us too. Yeah. So he was like, you have to see this game. And I'm like, I don't want to see it. It's about like apocalyptic terms and we're already in this situation. But after a while, after not watching and him playing in the bedroom, I look over and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And I like a good story. It's like a movie, pretty much.
You're literally using him. You're like, babe, keep playing so I can find out the story.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, where to go? I'm like, oh, look here, look there. And because, you can be my hands and I'll just tell you where to go.
You're the mastermind.
Yeah, exactly.
The overseer.
We keep this clean here, okay? It's gonna pop up the parental advisory little thing.
You're like, just go to this corner. This is where the next cutscene is.
That's it.
I mean, the gaming business is about what, $5 billion a year, right, Chris?
Oh yeah, it's actually increasing, and we're just talking like from the modern game aspect, and we're not even touching like retro games. Yes. Like, because that right now with quarantine has been increasing because a lot of people can't go to pawn shops, a lot of people can't go garage sales. So like now we have a lot of virtual groups where people are doing trades and showing what they got from their own collections just to get what they want in exchange. So a lot of people think that it's dying, and it's actually not. It's increasing. Like, a lot of people are being creative, especially those that have retro stores that are closed. They are streaming all the time, just selling their products online, and people just helping each other, seeing what they got in stock. And right now I can't talk too much about that area because I'm not a hardcore retro collector. I have my own sense when it comes to retro collecting. Like, I'm more into figures and artwork. I do collect sometimes some retro games, but it has to be things that I had in my childhood. Yeah. I'm not the completionist type of collector. But those that are completionists, like my fiance, he'll go to pawn shops and he'll go to the trade-ins and talk with the groups and do whatever it takes to get whatever copy he's looking for, you know. So it hasn't been dying. It actually has been, you know, increasing right now.
I mean, Chris, if you go to any con, which we all do, it's basically 25% of the genre. Comic book, movies, games.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah. And like right now, cosplay is actually helping a lot to lure in people into comics and games, because a lot of people want to go to the cons and swap meets for the competitions that they hold, you know, and a lot of people just show their love for a certain character, you know, and they'll go dressed like that person. And a lot of people even have professional careers where they even fly to different states and everything, and they actually get paid just to cosplay.
I have friends that do that.
You know, I was actually even thinking about myself a couple years ago to get into the business of cosplaying, but then again, that's a gray area when it comes to females, because I don't even have to tell you, you know, but you have an idea of where I'm going when it comes to cosplay.
Yeah, so, it's a lot. You gotta love it. It's one of those things you gotta love. It's definitely an expensive hobby. It can rack up the bills if you want to do it the right way. But yeah, it does. It takes a lot of time, and it does take a good amount of your money. It does.
I think that's actually helping a lot when it comes to conventions. A lot of people go to watch these people and take pictures. I've taken pictures with a lot of people that just go cosplay, you know, because I'm like, I love it. I love it. The amount of time and effort that they put into creating these outfits, a lot of them just make it their own. It's homemade, you know, and it just blows your mind away when you see how much detail they put into these outfits.
Yeah, like one of my friends, he just did a whole Mega Man, like the whole, I forgot which one it was. Rick, help me with this one. But he just did like the whole suit, suit, like with foam, with EVA foam, like it's crazy. He painted it. Everything. Yeah, no, my friend Tim Tonko did that. Beta Ray Bill was done by the Mr. Fitness guy. But I have a lot of friends who like they've taken this quarantine time to just like full craft mode. That's insane. Amazing. It's insane. I'm like, you guys are my goals. Like, but yeah, it's insane. And when you know like the prices of everything, and you're just like, oh my God, that's so much money that went into that. But the love that's in it and the passion that's in it, I respect it. I love it. And I enjoy it. It's all over my feed, and I'm like, you like it, So.
And I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business, like you mentioned, you know. So when you go to a convention, do not get scared of just talking with vendors and asking negotiating prices, because you got to remember, and this is a tip 101 for y'all that collect, they're gonna put their prices up because they have to pay for the table to set up, you know. There's a fee, there's a lot of costs being involved, so they have to recover, and then whatever they do over, those are really their winnings. So if you are a person that you're trying to complete your collections, a lot of these people are sometimes in that same mode. They just want to trade to get whatever they want in exchange, or they will do whatever it can to share with you a fair price, you know, as long as you don't give them an impression that you're just doing that on purpose, you know, that you're just a cheap person. But they will negotiate with you, because at the end of the day, they need to clear out a lot of this inventory and merchandise. Because if not, they just got to drag it all back in that truck, whatever they rented, and bring it back to their store. And they don't want to do that, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
I'm like, do not get scared.
The first person I talked to was the guys from Sideshow Collectibles. Oh my God. I said, what do I got to do to be in the back of the convention center to steal whatever I can get? And then, well, YouTube did that. I mean, but yeah, it's a business. And Chris, let me ask you a question. Do you find yourself now, since we're in the thing, it's not the same. You wish we could look at it from the other side. When we walk into places, like Like Mandy, we walked into the the Schaumburg.
Yeah.
Work. I mean, like it's like we lost it somewhere. Where's the,
wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm coming in here. Okay, where's Tom? Where's Joe? Where's the blah blah? Let me find them. Let me text them. Let me call them.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it all depends, like, in what perspective you're going. Because I've gone through, like, for example, Retropalooza. I've gone so many times to Retropalooza. But every year that I go in a different perspective. Like, for example, there was one year I was a guest. So that year I went. Yeah, that year
I was a guest at a wedding. Oh, I don't want to be in nobody's wedding no more. No.
So that year I went as a guest, and I had my own panel with one of my friends. So that year I couldn't see it from someone that was just going to buy games. I had to see it from someone that was preparing a panel.
Yeah, like behind the scenes of like being on the other side of it. Yeah.
You see a lot of the BS that the people have to go through, when it comes to running a convention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I saw it from that side. Then on the next year, I went as just a visitor, So that year was fun because that year I hung out with my friends. I went to the after party. I went shopping, and it was fun. Now, this past year, before the whole coronavirus happened, I went from a business standpoint. So I didn't go to shop. I had already a agenda scheduled of like, Friday I got these videos I need to make. Saturday I gotta go to this after party because I got a meeting, and then Sunday I have these collabs that I gotta handle. So I guess that it's what it all depends. It's like, and from what standpoint are you going, and then based on that, that's gonna influence how much enjoyment you're gonna bring back home from the conventions and swap meets. This past year I didn't like it too much. If you ask me, from the business standpoint, I was like drenched because that Sunday there was a tornado, there was a storm, and I ended up going back home at almost 3 a.m. in the morning from a 2.5-hour trip. So it wasn't too much fun, but we got the work done.
This is great, Chris. This is great. You're gonna come back, right?
I mean, if you don't invite me.
Yes, you need to come back. You're awesome.
Sorry that I'm talking so much, but I mean, it's like, you asked for it.
No, that's cool. That's what we needed. Because remember, we are noobs. We're noobs, and I don't want it to come off like we're gonna pretend like we know everything about gaming, because that's not fair. That's not something that I stand behind, and neither does Tracy. Yep. You're the expert, so therefore we want to know. We want to pick your brain. We want to see what you got to tell us. And I guess one question we could feed off of is, as noobs, what would be a good game for us to start that we won't want to quit automatically?
Oh, okay. I guess if it's from the Nintendo platform, I guess we'll go with the most iconic and beloved icon that everybody knows is Mario. I think Super Mario Odyssey is a great game. It's fun.
Yeah, that is a fun game.
And if you are not even a hardcore gamer and you're more casual, you'll still be able to get through the game. So I think it's a really good game. From PlayStation, I think that oh wow, that's really hard, but I'm going old school. Tomb Raider series are really fun.
Yeah.
So, if you want a good action game, open world with a good story, Tomb Raider is what it is,
Yeah.
If VR, Astronauts is a great game. It's everything that VR is supposed to be. So if you've never been in VR world, that's a good game to start with. And when it comes to Xbox, even if a lot of people backlash that game, I think that Sea of Thieves is such a nice game. It's so much fun. It's online. You're into pirates and battles and treasure and all that stuff. That is actually one of those good games that you could just do whatever you want, and if you want to get inside a canyon and just get blasted on the other side. So That's from the safe side because I can't go into the drinking side games.
Yeah. The last game I finished was After Party. I think it was on Xbox, was it? It's an indie game that they have which was actually pretty cool. But that's,
you know,
like,
which games are really good?
Game,
like
much.
adult games to hang out and keep it still peaceful.
Yes.
Jack in the Box series
I love that. Trivia Murder House Party.
Yes,
is my favorite game. I am so good.
He lied to me. You see what I mean?
At nonsensical trivia. I am so good at nonsensical trivia. Everyone hates me in this house because I blow them out the water all the time. They're like, how do you know that? I'm like, I don't even know. I guess I'm an idiot savant somewhere. But I figured it out.
Jack in the Box is amazing because, like, I don't know if you've ever played that game, but Jack in the Box, you don't even need controllers. Like, everybody can play from their phone. You know, they just have to put in a code, and as soon as they got that code in, they're in a room with you and they're playing the game. And it's a kind of like a trivia, but it's all of the games are different themes. So the one she mentioned is a kind of like a murder slaughterhouse / trivia. And it's so much fun because, like, there's a bunch of, like, these voodoo dolls. I guess I would call them like that. Yeah. You know, and then every time you answer wrong a question, your voodoo doll just gets attacked, you know. And at the end, you got a certain amount of opportunities until it got totally murdered and you're off the game.
That sounds dope.
That and Rock Band, obviously.
Yeah.
That's say for hours, but you know we have our time constraints. And you're gonna come back, Chris?
I mean, I'm up. Sign me up whenever you want.
Alrighty.
Anything to tell everybody before we sign out?
Please go check out the last videos that I just made. I had my boy Big Sean. He's an amazing guy. He did a collab with me on the fashion show that I mentioned earlier of Animal Crossing. So if you guys want to go check it out, please stop by. And we have some future projects. I am still not going to announce fully, but at least a little glimpse. It might be, you know, involving live streaming, retro school gameplay. So, I mean, I need my squad, my ZapCristal squad, so that y'all know, hit your girl up, stay updated with the news.
This was absolutely awesome. Man.
Thank you.
Man, this was awesome. Now I gotta top this.
I don't know about that.
Now I'm mad again. I'm mad.
Why are you mad?
Can I just give you
how to top Chris? It's gonna be hard to top
Oh
Chris.
wait, well let me give you just a quick suggestion. If you want someone that is equally good and fun as me, JLove81. Jen is an astounding girl. She's from the East Coast. She's a hardcore retro collector. She's the sweetest woman on the face of the earth. If you go check her out, she's my bestie. She's amazing.
We'll reach out to Jen. Chris is gonna set that up.
Jen, I gotta make sure.
All right, guys. Thank you, Egghead News. Man, I'm glad we are back in the same space.
Yes, I'm so glad we had this time together.
and Chris, I don't even know. I don't even know. This ain't the first or the last. I already know that.
Don't share the footage.
We're gonna be calling. Hey, Chris, if we do something, you're gonna come, right?
I mean, hopefully after the quarantine. Yeah, my plans are, crossing fingers, right? That classic Game Fest by the end of July can actually be done because we don't know, you know.
Yeah.
And then Retropalooza also can be, you know, done this year, but then again, I don't know. But if they do it, I'm getting in my car with my luggage and going to cover those.
if New York Comic Con does come, you go.
If Comic Con, yeah,
It's breaking my heart, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's quarantine. The thing is the quarantine. So I don't know if they're gonna actually, because remember, right now, even for weddings, like I heard last time that people that had a huge guest list, now it's like you gotta limit it to 50. I think that they're after 50, they're not gonna let you. So it's kind of hard, if you see it from a wedding standpoint, imagine, somebody running a convention.
Yeah.
Because Retropalooza last year had over, I spoke with the owner, I think it was like almost 10,000 visitors.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. But anyway, on a good note, we are all now connected.
Yes.
House. This has been great. There's going to be some more great ones. And thanks to Victor.
I love this right now.
Thanks to Victor.
Hey.
Going with the flow.
I'm signing out. Chris, thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me here. It was fun, and just let me know for the next one.